Howdy everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. It is a Friday night and I am preparing what I think is going to be some keto broccoli balls, and I'm going to make them in the air fryer. But I've also got some meat here in front of me that I'm going to season because we are going to put it on the barbecue pit. At least I think we're going to barbecue. If not, it's going to go in the oven. Okay, so to make my my broccoli balls, let's see. I'm going to need 1.5 pounds of broccoli. Now, I don't know how much this makes. I didn't read ahead to see how much it makes. Well, we're just going to go ahead and go with it and see how much it is. Okay, so 1.5 pounds. This is a 2-pound bag, and I've already used almost like half a pound of it. So I'm going to just chop it up a little bit more. Sorry about the noise. Also, I've been outside a lot, so my allergies are like really in my head, or really affecting me. So to me, I'm talking inside of my head, so I don't hear me out here. All those signs, like I'm landing an airplane. But anyway, yeah, all the sounds to me are in my head. They're not outside, so I feel like I have to yell. But anyway, I'm going to chop this broccoli up. And my son is here. My younger son is here. He's here with us for a little while before he has to leave again. And so we're doing this little dinner with a little bit extra stuff this Friday night. Okay, so chop it up. I'm going to throw it into a pan. I've got a pan with water behind me. It's already heating up. It's steaming a little bit. It's not quite boiling, but we're going to put this in there. This is supposed to cook and get soft, but not like mushy, but just enough that I can then put it in the processor. But I'm going to use a Vitamix. I've been having problems with my food processor. I hadn't used it hardly much, and I've been having some problems with it not working very properly. So I had to see if, I think the warranty or whatever I had on it probably expired already. But I mean, you know, you paid a lot of money. Pay a lot of money for one of those things. But anyway, I'm going to put this in the water. And then I'm going to use my Vitamix. And that looks like a lot. Although I still have some in here. I'll get a couple more. I feel like I didn't quite grab half a pound the last time that I used the broccoli. I got that big bag of broccoli florets for like $3 or just $3 and some change at Sam's Club this week. I'm not sure when the sales end, but you want to look for those nice good deals. Okay, so I'm going to get that in there, let that do its thing. And let me move some stuff out of the way. I'll be back. I also got a letter from my friend Pat. Thank you, Pat. I got it right here, and I'm going to read it when I get to resting a little bit later after all our dinner. But let me get these beef fajitas. This is a skirt steak. And I've got here just about 2 pounds, a little bit over, tiny bit over. Okay, that's what it's looking like. And what I like to do is I like to just cut off some of the fat, the little bits, skin bits. Just take some of that off. Let me cut this in half too. Okay, so when I cook fajitas, I cook them as a whole piece. I don't cut them up and then cook them. If I do cut them up, it's usually because I'm gonna do them on the stove like a stir fry. And when you cut them, you have to cut them against the grain, because if you cut them along the grain, you're gonna have this really tough meat. You gotta cut them up against the grain. That way the grain gets cut up into little bits, so when you bite into it, you can break it off. It's very nice that way. So the grain is all running down this way. So if I was to slice it, you know, to make fajitas or a stir fry on my stove, I would do that. But as a whole piece on the grill, just like that. I need to season it, of course. I'm just putting them off to the side so I can take off all this little thick part off of it. I don't know what it is. It's fat and I don't know what else, but I take that off because then it makes everything really hard to chew. But you don't want to take everything completely off, because then you're going to have a minced piece of meat and it's just gonna fall apart on you. So you want a nice little steak here. So, okay. I'm gonna finish doing this and I'll be back so we can season this. And I've got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs as well, so I'll do that as well. I've got some sausage, but this already is seasoned. It's chili con queso, so we'll see how that tastes. All right, so my broccoli is almost ready. I can smell it. It smells so good in there. So I think I'm gonna turn that off. All right, so now I'm gonna season all this with salt. And this is not the recipe. The recipe is for the broccoli balls, but it's really more of a vlog tonight. Okay, so salt and pepper. I need something. Okay, I needed these tongs. And I'm going to use some of this garlic herb seasoning. I love to use this. And I also have another seasoning here from Mrs. Dash. This is from well, it's called just Dash now. It used to be called Mrs. Dash, but or maybe it's not even the same company for all I know. It looks like the same kind of design of the label. But anyway, Dash, no salt, garlic herb seasoning. I buy like 2 or 3 of these little bottles at a time, so that's why I have them in here. I'm going to season the other side exactly the same. And then I've got this salt-free Dash. This one's called Southwest Chipotle seasoning blend. Oh, it smells so good. And we're going to sprinkle that on them as well, on everything here. I don't need to put it on the sausage because the sausage already has a flavor. Okay, I'm going to turn these around, season the other side, and just put them aside. The barbecue pit is being prepared as we speak. My honey's out there. And then we can have him take this and put it on the grill. And that's all you do, put it on the grill. Cook it to your liking. Make sure the chicken is fully cooked. And then we'll look at this all when it's done. And I'm getting seasonings everywhere. And I like to do it like that. Okay. The only thing about these keto broccoli balls is it asks for parsley, and I was in the grocery store today and I had parsley on my list, and as I was checking things off, well, you know, kind of like deleting things as I buy things, I guess I checked on the parsley and then I guess I thought I got it, or I just didn't see it on the, you know, as something that I needed to get that was unchecked, because everything moves down on my list as I check it. So it kind of goes downward on my list, and then, so I'm just looking at whatever's in the top. It's still got the little empty circle next to it. So I never saw the parsley. But anyway, this is seasoned. Okay, so I'm also going to get this sausage, and I'm only going to do one because my son and I are the only ones that want sausage. And my husband won't want any. Okay, so I'm going to take one, cut it in half. I'll just put it separately from the other meat because this is kind of already cooked and that stuff is raw, so I'll just put this separately. And then this one, because it's so big, will it fit my little baggie? Yeah, I think it will. And then I'll just take out the whole thing. I'm going to fold it up. Chili con queso sounds delicious. Anyway, we'll see. It smells really good. So I'm thinking it's going to taste good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and clean up my area here and disinfect it, and I will be back so we can make those little broccoli balls. And I think I'm going to have to let the broccoli cool off before I actually put it into the Vitamix, so I'll do that. Alright, so I have got my broccoli in my little colander here. I've gone ahead and drained it, and I want to tell you that if you're going to cook or boil it, whatever, 6 minutes, okay? I might went a little bit longer because I was doing all this chitter chattering. And also, I forgot to drain it right away, so I had left it in the hot water on the stove. So I got a little bit mushy, but it's okay. We're going to use it. I'm not going to let all this go to waste. I'm going to try to make these little broccoli balls. I think they had another name to them when I saw the recipe, but I'm just calling them broccoli balls. I think they were called broccoli meatballs, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to throw them, process them. Okay, let me tell you what the other ingredients are going to be. So 1.5 pounds of cooked broccoli. We have that in there. We're going to need 1 egg, salt and pepper, fresh chopped parsley, and I would probably do like maybe about a 1/4 cup. I don't know. So we're going to skip that. I'm going to use a 1/3 cup either coconut or almond flour. I've got almond flour that I'm going to use. I need 1/2 cup of crushed pork rinds. So I crushed them here, and I'll just measure a 1/4 cup of that. I'll measure that out in a moment. And then 2 tablespoons of grated parmesan or pecorino cheese. I have parmesan cheese here. Okay, so I've put this in the processor, and it says to break it down and then add the egg. So let's do that. All right, so I've broken it down, and it's kind of mushy, but well, what can we do? It happened. So now I'm going to go ahead. I was also using my spoon to kind of push down the bigger pieces of broccoli. You can go ahead and walk out, that's okay. You can hear the background noises. Okay, so now I'm going to add an egg to that. I was using the spoon to push down, and it does come with a special tool for that, but I did do it when it was off, not when it was on. So I'm going to throw this away. And I forgot to have a little thing here for my compost where I'm putting all the eggshells, so I almost put them in the trash. Okay, so it says to break it down, add the egg, and then put it in a bowl. So I don't know if I'm supposed to break it down again with the egg in it, but I'm just going to do it with a spoon like this. And as a matter of fact, I'll just pour it into the bowl. This looks more like a broccoli soup, which makes me want some now. Now, there's something about broccoli when it's cooking. I love the smell. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I love the smell of cooking broccoli. And it always reminds me of my grandmother for some reason. I just think of my grandma. Like when I think about like a broccoli soup or something like that. But even just cooking it, it just makes me think of her. Okay, so I've got that all in there. It looks like a puree. This would be great for a baby without the egg in there, of course, or the raw egg in there. Let's see. I almost want to taste it, you guys. Now the other thing is also when you put it in the water to boil, salt it, but I didn't do that. I never do that. I mean, I shouldn't say that I never do that. It's just not something that I'm used to. Putting salt in whatever I boil, except unless I'm remembering, and I'm going to use that same water to cook, like if I'm making a soup or something. But I hardly ever remember to salt my water. Okay, so I've got the egg worked in there. All right, so, and I got splatters of all kinds of stuff on my glasses. Okay, so salt and pepper, I guess just to taste. And then some minced garlic. Does it say how much minced garlic? It says 1 clove of garlic minced. So I'm going to use half a teaspoon. I already have some minced garlic here. I'll let you use this. It's already ready to go. Drop it in there. So if you got lots of stuff that you do at home, you don't want to be mincing garlic, get it already done. You will pay extra, but I'm just letting you know. Okay. Oh, and that smells so good, that garlic. And I use it so quickly. My husband just uses it like crazy on everything. So this minced garlic never goes bad. I mean, I'm thinking I should just start buying the bigger jar. My mouth is watering, you guys. Okay, so I added the garlic. And let's see. Add the parsley, the flour, and the cheese blend. And then you're going to form small balls, and you're going to roll this into the pork rinds, and then we're going to put them in the air fryer, which we're going to spray with avocado oil or coconut oil. We're going to fry for 8 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees. So everything except the pork rinds we're going to add. So what's left here is the almond flour and the cheese, and I need a 1/3 cup of almond flour or coconut flour. I'm going to use almond flour because I have a lot of that. This is a 1/3 cup measurement, so there we go. Pour that in there, and it says 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese, and thank God that's all it asks for because I don't have a lot of it. Okay, boom. Now, if I feel like this is a little too too mushy, I am going to add some more almond flour to this, okay? And I may even add, you know, more egg. I might have to just work this around because, you know, my broccoli did end up really mushy. And I'm looking at it right now, I'm like, I don't know how this is going to, I'm going to be able to just grab this and form it into a ball. It's too wet. Look at that. It's too thick, you guys. I'm going to add a little bit more flour, a little bit more cheese. And I don't know if I'm going to add another egg. No, I'll just do it that way. Okay, so let me add a little more. That's my cat. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of the almond flour. Maybe I should have added coconut flour because I do have some, just to make something special. I am going to put down the recipe in the description box below, the way that I found it, so that you can do it that way, but then you can see what I'm doing because of the mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to add another tablespoon of cheese because you know what? It doesn't hurt. Okay. Well, let's see, that'll kind of help make it a little more, you know, solid-like. I feel like that might help. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. This is so much thicker, so it might work, okay? I'm going to go ahead and clean up all this mess, get my air fryer out and ready, so that then form these little balls and hopefully put them in there and everything will be perfect. And, well, they might not be perfect, but, you know, good enough. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I did have some little green onions, little spring onions, so I decided to chop some of that up, and I'm going to add that because, like I said, I didn't have the parsley, but I think the little green onions would taste good in the mess that I'm about to make. Okay, so I'm going to get some parchment paper right here. Let me blend those into it or fold them in there. It smells incredible. Whatever I made, it smells really good. Okay, so I'm going to attempt now to make some little balls. Let me spray my little bits from the sponge here. How weird. Okay, I'm going to spray the inside of my air fryer canister with some avocado oil. You can use olive oil or coconut oil. Okay, just spray it like that. And I don't know why I grabbed some parchment paper, but I did. Okay, so I've got my pork rinds. I'm going to put them on the paper here, or you can put it on a little plate, a little bowl, whatever. Not too deep of a bowl, you want to be able to reach in there. Okay, so I've crushed these as best as I can, but I'm just taking out any big clumps in there, or breaking them down. So my husband's trying to get the fire going, but for some reason it's not starting. We got that, you know, that charcoal that you just easily start it up. Like you don't need any fluid or anything for it. Well, it's not lighting up, he says, so I don't know. Okay, so I'm making big little balls with these little cookie scoop here, because I thought, well, I don't want to get my hands all that dirty. Okay, so let's see. I might need more pork rinds for all that. Okay. My cat. Okay, so I'm going to make little balls like this. And then put them in my air fryer. And I'm not gonna like fill it to where they're all touching. I'm gonna leave some space between them. That way the air fryer can cook them all. And it says 8 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in for 5, turn them around, and then do another 3 or what is it? 8 minutes. I'm gonna try 8 minutes. I'll do 4 minutes. Turn them around, do another 4 minutes, and see if that cooks them. If not, I'll go for the 10 minutes, the extra 2 minutes. And then if those come out good, I'll make some more, and then I'll see how many came out. And I don't know if I'm going to make this whole thing, you guys. I feel like that was a little too much. But all right, so I'll be back when I've got this enough of the little balls in here to put them in the air fryer, and then I'll continue with the rest. I'll see. Okay. All right, so I've got 8 balls in here, and they're about a ping pong ball size. I kind of started getting bigger as I went along. I started off really small, then they just got bigger. So let me just kind of hold it out how much bigger it is than the one that I started with. But anyway, I've got 2, 4, 6, I've got 8 of them in here. And they're all kind of separated, if you can see that. Oops. All right. And yes, I crushed more of the pork rinds. Okay, so this is going to go into the air fryer. 350 for 4 minutes. For 4 minutes, we're gonna let that go. I'm gonna make some more balls, you guys. If I don't cook all of these, I think what I can do is I can just kind of lay them out flat, put them in the freezer, let them get a little bit hard, and then put them in a little baggie, and then put them back in the freezer. And then when I want to use them, I can pull them out and lay them out, let them defrost a little bit, and fry them up again. I think it'll work. By the way, if you don't want to do this keto, no big deal. I think that you could certainly do this with just some regular flour instead of the almond flour, and instead of using pork rinds, use panko breadcrumbs. Now, if you are kind of halvesy on the idea of keto, and you don't want to spend the money on the almond flour just yet, you're not ready, and you just want to try this out, you could go ahead and use your regular flour. Maybe use some whole wheat flours, you know, a little bit of fiber to cut on the carbs a little bit, and also use pork rinds because they're actually really good. But that's up to you, because you know some people probably don't like pork rinds. But the panko breadcrumbs would make everything really nice and crispy if you don't have a problem with the carbs. And of course, you could have a little bit of them, not too much, just on the outside. You know, just cut a little bit here and there. All right. Okay, I'm going to continue making more balls, and we'll be back once those are done. All right, so I actually went for the whole 10 minutes because I checked them at 4 minutes, and I felt like they were a little too soft, and I felt like another 4 minutes wasn't going to do it. The other thing is that I wasn't able to turn them over because, like I said, they were too soft, so I went ahead and I put them in. I had done 4 minutes, so I put another 6 minutes, and they feel pretty good. I feel like they could probably go a little bit longer. I'm going to open one up here so you can see that. Oh my god, it's steaming hot. Let's try this little piece and see how it looks. Here's how the other one looks, so you can see that they're pretty big, you guys. Okay, that's how I made them. Oh my god, it's hot and it's really very good. Yep. All right, you guys, it was super delicious. I feel like maybe a little dip, a little ranch dip or something on the side would be great for this. Now, I do feel like they could go a little bit longer. This is the bigger one. The small one is pretty much perfect, almost the way it is. But because it's a little bit bigger, I feel like it's going to need a little more time. So I'm going to put them in for a couple more minutes. I was able to make another 13 here. So the batter everything that I made, I think you're going to get 24 if you just make them a tiny bit smaller than what I did. But this is what they look like, you guys. All right, so I'm going to come back when I have all my dinner on my plate so I can show you what I'm having. All right, everybody, all our meat has been cooked and it is perfect. Look at these fajitas. Like I said, I'm cutting against the grain. That way they're easy to tear up like that as you're biting into them. Delicious. So I'm going to serve myself some of these. And our little thighs are really small, but delicious. Okay, so I went ahead and I cooked all of the broccoli balls. I just thought that the ones that I tried were so delicious, I'll just cook them all. So let me put all this yumminess on my plate. Right here. I also made a pico de gallo right here. This is onions, tomatoes, cilantro, some seasoning, lime. So if you want to know how I make my pico de gallo, and I also have other ways that I make it a little more special, a little more different. If you'd like to see some recipes on that, leave a comment down below, let me know. Oh, I'm also going to get a sausage, you guys, but I need to cut it up into little pieces. This is that chili con queso. So it's a chili flavored sausage. Super hot. My fingers are burning. I don't know why I'm not using a fork. But anyway, let's put those on my plate right here. And I've got a couple of gigantic olives, those Texas size olives on my plate as well. So that's a lot of stuff on my plate. Look at that. It's a little plate, but look, it makes it look way fuller. Have that cheese on my fingers. Okay, so I also have some already made store-bought potato salad. Those are for my guys. I'm not going to have any of that, but I am going to have the broccoli balls. And then here I just mix up some mayonnaise with some seasonings. I use salt and pepper and my garlic herb seasoning. And I think I even added like a little squeeze of lime in there. It's so good. So I'm going to put that on the side. And I feel like I want to dip the broccoli balls into that. So here's my really dark colored plate of food. I've got my iced tea or cold tea. It is unsweetened, but I did put a couple of little packets of Splenda in there. I took a little sip so I can make some room to shake it, and that is ready for me. So that's my dinner, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed my recipe. Oh my gosh, I gotta try one of these little bits of broccoli ball with the dip that I made. That's my happy dance, you guys. All right, delicious. I'm gonna enjoy my dinner, and I'm gonna give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that you too will give me a big old thumbs up. I will put the recipe in the description box below. Hit that subscribe button, that red button, or my little icon, my little channel icon right there, and you can subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. Also hit the notification bell, and you want to hit all, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get any notices. And I put videos twice a week. I know that I kind of skipped here and there, and I didn't have a video on the day, or I only had one video in 1 week. But I'm just trying to get myself back into the motion of things, you guys. The little freeze that came through Texas kind of wiped me out a little bit. But I'm getting back into business. I've cleaned up a lot of dead plants out there, and I'm going to have a video for you as soon as I finish cleaning up and adding new plants out there, which is what my plan is. So I'll be having that video in the future, probably, hopefully within this month, March, who knows. But anyway, hope you all have a great weekend. Share on your social medias, you guys. Respect each other, love each other, and as always, enjoy.